Is it just me, or does tin whistle sound so much more magical with a little bit of reverb? Hello beautiful people, I'm Stephanie, and today I'm going to show you a selection of ways to add echo or reverb to your tin whistle playing. Now, the most basic form of live reverb is to use a room with good acoustics. And although this sounds kind of basic, there are rooms in your home that will have better acoustics than your living room. Any room with a lot of hard surfaces that sound can bounce around on, and with fewer sofas and beds and duvet covers and fabric and curtains, any bare room or hard surfaced room will make your whistle sound 10 times better than if you play in your living room. So for example, playing in your kitchen, playing in your bathroom, or if you have them at the top of your stairs can make a huge difference to the sound of your whistle. Let me give you an example. If you're playing at indoor venues and you want to make the most of your sound, perhaps you're filming a music video or planning your first gig, try and choose spaces that will complement the sound of your instrument, and then you won't need snazzy equipment to add reverb. So for example, churches, village halls, concert halls, school halls, anything with a wide, echoey acoustic space. And that will give you the best chance of your instrument sounding incredible without needing to add reverb electronically or through a speaker or mic. If you're playing outside, then try and choose an area without traffic, because that will completely deaden your sound. But also, if you go for an open square, your music can kind of bounce off a few of the buildings around you and it will give you a more echoey feel. You might get some really good effects on a narrow street because there's space for that sound to bounce around. So experiment while you're out in the open. Also, a few great places to play are things like caves and tunnels and the entranceways to large extravagant buildings. And these again can offer that space, that circular space for your sound to bounce around. The next way to add reverb if you're playing live is to use a speaker and a microphone setup. And this basically gives you a delay to your playing, and you can be in any situation. If you have a mic and a speaker setup and you can add reverb on that, you don't need the acoustics that you would otherwise need if you were just playing the instrument on its own. Now, there are some amazing new gadgets out there that can help add reverb to your live playing. For example, the mini amp that I've showed you before from Flute Shop, it is a portable device, and as you can see, it can be carried on your person, and it can also give you that live reverb to your playing, which makes it sound incredible. Also, the reverb is adjustable, so you can adjust it to your preferences. The volume is adjustable, and you're completely wire-free. You don't need masses of large, heavy equipment, and it's not expensive to get started. So any speaker like this is really useful. You can also find public speaking headsets, and that sort of thing can work just as well. If you have the luxury of being able to plug into a mains power supply, you can go the old school route, and just as you'd set up for guitar or as a singer, you can have an actual microphone and a sound system and a speaker that you can add reverb to. And this actually happened for me when I played at a festival last year. As you can see and hear on screen now, I was playing Dancing in the Moonlight, but we've got a decent amount of reverb in the background there. There was a gentleman in charge of sound who made sure to add that reverb for me just to give my playing that little bit of extra spice. Another option these days for live and pre-recorded videos is to use filters on apps such as Instagram. Now, if you don't follow my Instagram, get on there. It's where I'm most active at the moment. But as an example, live on Instagram or as a pre-recorded reel, you can use the filters and effects to choose studio reverb. So I'll show you how to do that now. On your Instagram account, click to create a reel. Click on your camera and head to Effects. Then search for Studio Reverb. Click to add this effect to your video. And you'll get that beautiful echo sound on your playback. There's also a selection of free apps available that can add reverb to your audio and your video. So you can add that echo to any of your sound just using a free app on your phone. You'll find that a lot of the free apps will actually add reverb to sound that already exists. So you will need to record the sound on your phone or through a microphone anyway in order to add reverb. But if you don't have fancy editing software, you can just do it with an app on your phone. Just record yourself playing and then add the reverb through the app. The final post-production way you can add reverb is to use video or audio editing software. I actually use Sony Vegas. I've used it since university and I really love it because it has quite an extensive range of audio options within the video editing software. And whether you decide to use a paid video or audio editing software, or you decide to just use a free one like Audacity, you still have the option to add echo or reverb using that software. Sony Vegas has a great feature for this. If you click on your little effects button and then you head over to reverb, you get to choose between all these different settings. So you've got things like rich hall, concert hall, deep hall, cavernous space, bright small room, subtle ambience, plate, ringy, metal tank, yeah. You've got all these different settings. And you can also as well adjust the amount that you want those sounds to affect your audio recording. So usually I'll stay on Rich Hall, which is the default setting. You can see here that I can increase the decay time and the pre-delay. I can also increase the reverb out and the early out. And playing around with those settings increases the amount of echo. So if you're ready to make your music sound that little bit more magical, then there are a few simple live ways to add reverb to your music naturally. You can also add them electronically live as well. You can use apps and filters, or you can go full out and use professional editing software. Either way, you now have all the information you need to give your whistle playing that little bit of extra spice. That is it from me today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that big thumbs up button down below. Please, if you haven't, do subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so fingers crossed we'll get there. Please do hit that subscribe and tell your friends to come back and check out more free tin whistle tutorials, tips and tricks right here on my YouTube channel. Don't forget you can also support me on my Ko-fi and Patreon pages if you love what I do, or right here on YouTube using the super thanks button if it appears below this video. If you want some other how-tos and top tips, I have linked a few on screen here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you folks later on in the week for a tin whistle tune tutorial, but until then, have fun, happy whistling, and I'll see you folks soon. Bye.